So just to gauge the room a little bit, how long would you say you experience in Agile? Who would say you're beginning Agile? Don't be shy. Yeah? And who was intermediate? A few years? Yeah? Wow, all right. There's a few experts in the house then. All right, cool.
Let's get right to it. Hi, welcome. This is yesterday. Your croissant is very, very nice. My name is Pete. I'm from ThoughtWorks Sydney.
And me is Pon. Yeah, I'm from ThoughtWorks Thailand.
We are actually live on his YouTube channel, by the way.
You have to be a YouTube celebrity these days.
Say hi.
Say hi to people in Thailand.
Our contents are in Thai and geared towards the Thai community.
So we'll speak Thai from this on.
So we are honored to be here today.
Yes.
About ThoughtWorks. Anyone heard about us?
Yeah, you heard of ThoughtWorks?
Cool. A little bit.
Yeah. So we have office around the quite a few places. We have them in Berlin. We have them in Italy and a few places.
In London, but
in
not
London,
Paris yet.
But not yet Paris.
We just opened in Thailand though, so that's where we are at the moment. So come say hi if you are around.
And what do we do?
What do? We do software consultancy, software development. So we help people solve their problems by software delivery.
Yep. Great. Not begging?
Maybe. But again, like this is the first session, so I think that let's wake people up.
All right.
By going really boring right now. Have you been in this situation before? So, yeah, you know, like we need more conversion, and then let's add buttons. What about the visual treatment? We are having the campaign, right? And we got the customer interview, and then they said, you know, it's about the price. No, it's not about the price. That's not what we want. What about the conversion? Half an hour into the meeting, and you wish that you'd be anywhere else. Yeah. Have anybody been in that meeting?
Yeah, and it kind of runs on. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then somebody suggests, hey, you know what? Let's pick this up in an
Thumbs up. It's lunch. Let's go.
It's lunch. So we pick this up in an email later. All right. And then the email gets longer and longer.
What else? What happens next? Have you ever been in that email thread? It's lunch. Let's pick up on the email. Yeah. And then what happened?
The email gets longer and longer. Yeah, nothing happened. And then someone say, let's have a meeting about the email.
Have the second meeting about the email again. Yeah. Oh, no, it's not the right way to communicate. Have anybody been in that second meeting?
Who has not been in that second meeting? Are you hiring?
Oh, that's great. So this is what it feels like, I think. Right?
So, you know, a bunch of things, right? Busy work.
Again, for the intermediate practitioners out there, you have been in lots of retro, I hope.
Yeah? You guys will run some retrospective? Yeah? So if you walk, like we run a few, but if you take a guess, you walk into any retrospective room, what would be the top 3 things that comes up?
And we'll read minds.
I'll do a little bit of mind reading, magic in advance.
Help us, guess.
You can't go wrong. What would be the problem for most teams? Communication?
Oh, what's that? Too much to do? Yep.
That's true.
Anything else?
Nothing moves.
Yep. Confusion? Okay.
All right. Okay. So we got one right.
We got 2 right, actually.
we got 2 right? Okay.
So this is what we run into all the time. Lots of all the retros we run into.
Yep. So
communication problem.
Always communication problems, always unclear requirement, and it's not us, it's those guys.
It's not us, it's them.
Yeah?
It's not us, it's them.
So when this comes up in a retro, I would say this is not a problem. Why? How do you fix communication problems?
Communication harder.
Communicate more.
Right.
It's not a root cause. You can't fix this. Yeah.
Unclear requirement.
How do you do it? Make it more clear. How do you do that? Details actually makes you go slower. Yeah? So, why are we talking about this? So these are the problems, yeah?
We think, this is our versions anyway, and again, different contexts. We think the problems are, each role do care about different aspects. When you are in that meeting, right, you mention, we need to increase sales. What does the designer think? Oh, this page needs to look prettier. The button needs to be more round. The experience needs to be more polished.
Yeah.
What does the dev think?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's uptime. No, we need to be fast. Like all this. What does the business think?
No, actually, the dev would think, I don't want to touch that code. I don't know what happened there. It works. Can we just not touch it?
The business is thinking about numbers, right? Yeah. If each role cares about different aspect, it's really hard. Not clear on the next step. Obviously, like we need to increase sales, and then you talk, and then at the end of it,
not sure what we're doing, right?
At the end of the meeting, like he ran an experiment where people walk out of the room, and before people walk out, they go, "Stop! What did we just agree on?"
Actually, it's fun to try that in your office. Like you just had an hour meeting, and we had some action points. But when you walk out of that room in like next 2 minutes, ask that guy again, "What did we agree on?" I'm sure it would not be the same. Yeah. Think about that. Like 2 hours, 2 days from then, right? That guy had some work done. Like he does some more research, some work, and it will be even different. And he can't contribute back what he's learned to the team effectively.
We're not doing the round button anymore. We're doing the triangle button, right? Like, and it's been 4 days of work from the design side. How do you get that back to the team? How do you get that back to the people in that meeting?
Yeah. So this is sort of symbolize it, right?
We all agree.
Yeah, it's a common sense, right? There's no common sense. What is that, right? So again, when you check, do you all agree? Can you repeat back? It will not be the same. You ask 3 guys, it's 3 different things. So we have found a solution that worked for us.
So we think that a lot of this stuff can be mitigated by shared understanding. And again, this is not breaking science here. Like you all heard this before, right? Like shared understanding. What does that mean? I think it's a concept. Yeah, understand harder. Yeah. I think it's a concept. We think it's a concept. Agile is a mindset.
Yep.
A lot of stuff is a mindset. It's how you eat it. It's how you internalize it, right? This is one way for us to internalize these concepts. And we will do a little bit of workshop here today as well.
Yeah,
but again, it's context-based. And you guys should go and try your own version.
So the solution that we found, we call it roughly customer journey.
Customer journey is nothing new. The stuff that you hear today is nothing new. It is a way of internalizing this stuff.
So what is a customer journey?
Customer journey is a tool that designers use to actually express the journey of the customers, right? But for us, we focus on 3 principles.
Yep.
Right? We try to make it a story, make it stretchable, and domain expert contribution.
We'll go into each detail and explain why.
Right. So, making a story.
So why a story, right? You've seen that, not very good graphic there, but it's a cave painting, right? That's one of the earliest painting in the cave. Why? As a human, we crave stories, right? We tell lots of detailed stories and it passes on. And we can absorb a lot of information if it's in the story form, yeah?
Complex information, you can make a simple story. Right. So,
let's give you some example. So the way we do it is you write a single post-it, right? Single note. Say, for example, I search Google for power bank. Then we make it.
So we try a lot of different variations. We find that having an image in it as well is the best. It adds another layer of context. So we say, I search for Google for power bank. You can see the guy is using his laptop. He's not in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And he's doing it alone. You know, like when you actually get people to draw, these layers came out.
So this is what a journey looks like. Yeah. You search power bank. You click on the top result. You see the category page for the word power bank. You go to product detail page. You put it in the basket and you check out. Right. That's a simple structure. Take anyone a few seconds to absorb this. Similar to comic, really. Right. It's nothing new. Why? Because this is being proven, right, at scale. Stories are being told to this format at scale. So we use this to capture our customer journey.
Cool.
Anyone know this thing? Know this comic?
We actually have a debate. Anyone know about Doraemon? Put your hands up. Crap. I lose the bet. Anyway. Well, it's the first lessons. It's the first class in the morning. So let's do work.
Oh, we need some volunteers?
We don't.
No?
Everyone
Whole class?
here.
All right.
Everyone here. Everyone here. All right.
It's a workshop, right? So
One sec. Put your hands up if you know who Batmans are. Okay, great.
We're safe.
Dragon Ball?
Oh,
Hey!
hey!
Spider-Man?
Dragon Ball fan.
And instead of Doraemon, which is only 2 hands there, we will replace that with Harry Potter. Do you guys know Harry Potter?
All right.
Okay, great.
Should they group up?
Again, you will let me explain the next step first as well. So we will give you post-it. You will be participating. You will need space, and you need to lay out 10 post-it in front of you like this. I don't know how, but please do. You can come and grab the post-its. And
Yeah, thank you.
once you guys got the 10 post-it in front of you, we'll assign you a hero.
Yeah,
please.
Can you help pass it on as well? Thank you. There you go. You need 10 post-it and a pen.
10 post-it in front of you and a pen. That's it. Pens and post-it. As an Agile practitioner, we don't leave the house without it. I recommended that you start hogging the wall space. We'll be using wall space. It's going to be easier to just have that 10 post-it on the wall, somehow, as opposed to the seats. So feel free to organize yourself.
Yeah. If you have Sharpie, please do not write on the wall. We all ready?
Once we all settle down, we'll assign you heroes.
10 post-it.
10 post-it. 10 post-it like that.
Yeah.
10 post-it.
You can take a bit more, it's okay. You can take a bit more. Yeah, we all have it? Are we all ready? Who's not ready? Who's not ready? All right, a few guys.
Give you a few more minutes.
Oh, okay. So I give this talk, actually many talks around the world, but I still see this happening. When you peel a post-it, please, 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 please do not do this.
That's a sin.
Right. This is a sin. Why? Anyone know why it's a sin? Because when you stick it, it looks like that. Yeah? So the correct way.
Air goes in.
So anyone, when you put it on the office, anyone walk past, it will fly out. Yeah? So when you peel the post-it, you peel it sideways. Like that. And when you put it, magic.
It's more flat.
It sticks longer.
This stick for a week, that stick for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And if you want proof that the manufacturer wants you to peel that way, look at the back of the post-it.
Yeah, look at the logo.
See how it aligns.
See, it's sideways.
This is how they want you to hold it before you peel it. How it's a sideways.
All right, I think we're all ready.
All right, let's assign the heroes.
Is that the workshop? You know how to post the
Yeah, that's it, man.
No. Okay, let's assign some heroes. Yeah, go ahead.
Could you go back to the other page? I forgot the
okay,
heroes already.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So just
So
give them numbers. Just give them
Batman?
numbers. No, just give them numbers. Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, just Batman. Like
All right. Go ahead, man.
Batman, Goku. You are Goku.
Thank you.
Spider-Man, Harry Potter. Let me go this direction. Batman,
This is gonna take a while.
Goku, Spider-Man, Harry Potter. You participating? Yep. Batman, Goku, Spider-Man, Harry Potter.
If you don't know your heroes,
Batman?
say so now. Like, I don't know who this guy is. Okay,
Goku?
you're gonna need to know him.
Spider-Man,
Yeah, let me assign
and Harry
you.
Potter, and Batman, Goku, Spider-Man, Harry Potter, Batman, Goku,
Yeah, you know that.
Spider-Man, and Harry Potter.
Oh, nice.
Batman, Goku. Oh, Spider-Man now. Harry Potter. And Batman again. Goku. All right, got it. Cool.
All right.
Everybody got the heroes?
Yeah.
No.
We are-
Oh, sorry.
You got your post-it? Oh, okay. Right. Oh,
You
okay.
can pick. What would you like? Goku. You can't have the same. You, Batman and Goku. There we go. All right.
Nice. All right. We all ready?
We all ready. Man, this is tiring.
So start with 2. Yeah. You imagine how would that character? How would he make an omelet? We all know how to make omelet. Yes. All right.
Draw your first sticky as I'm hungry as that character. What would Batman hungry face look like? Imagine that. And then at the end of it, your last post-it, you have an omelet. How would Goku eat omelet?
Yeah.
And fill the gap in between. That's it.
Do you understand the exercise? Yeah.
We will time you.
Sounds fun. Are you excited?
Any question before we start?
Yeah.
All right. Go.
Go. Oh, how long?
How long? Oh, sorry, 5 minutes. 5
Yes,
minutes.
All 10. Again. Oh, please use the this pen.
Please
Like
use Sharpie or this
sharp-
kind of pen
like
if
a
you
thick pen, yeah.
if you can, because when you take photos, it actually comes out
You have to see it in photos. Yeah.
for your own benefit. 5 minutes.
Yeah. And again, write in a. People can read it. Like write nicely. There you go. There you go.
The scene.
I didn't expect the room to be this auditorium, so sorry about that. How are we doing? Yes. Draw some cartoons. Anyone can draw. It's about communicating, right? Don't have to be very pretty. It's about communicating.
1 minute passed. You got 4 minutes left.
Yeah. Have the beginning and the end. It's always good to start with that. Beginning and the end. First, then start filling the middle ones. So actually you have 8 to fill, right?
8 to fill. Yeah.
You have 10 in front, you already have one, like number 1 here and number 10 there.
4 minutes left.
All right, let's see what you guys are up to.
Well, you're drawing. Our cameraman will get
Camera-
closer to capture you all in action.
Yes.
Feel free to smile and wave.
Show you how the And be creative, yeah? Be creative. Be fun. Be fun.
3 minutes left. That means you should be almost halfway.
Are we doing the middle one or just the beginning and the end?
The middle one, sorry. Right now you should have around 4 stickies drawn.
Should have done 4 stickies. Think about what makes them special. Yeah? Like, what would Harry Potter do? What would Spider-Man do? Bruce Wayne.
Who's Bruce Wayne, man?
Actually, there's a long story about that. So for a true Batman fan, Batman is actually his real personas, and Bruce Wayne is actually his secret. Yeah.
Too American.
All right.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. You should almost finish.
Remember the format? You have to draw pictures and draw some words. Write some words below it.
Write some words first, then draw, that's fine. Or draw first, then write words. That's fine too. Anyone done already? One minute left.
Wow. Just draw the words now. Just draw the words. Just draw the words.
Get to 10. Let's do it. Get to 10.
Yeah. What would be the MVP of my stories? Right? You don't need one nice cheat. You need 10 of a roughly one. MVP of your story. Oh, you've done. Nice.
Ooh. All right. "30 seconds. And I will count down.
Oh no. Right. Close, close.
Almost there. Almost there.
Just fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Just the word. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Yeah. Fill in the
10,
blank.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done! Woo!
Well done, guys.
Clap, yeah! No clap, man. I'm sad. This is how you treat your guests? How do you guys feel? How do y'all feel? Feel threatened. Exhausted. Sorry?
It's what? Stress?
But frustrating.
Frustrating.
Why frustrating? Haven't finished yet. Nah, it's fine, man. It's fine.
But it's good to town box, yeah?
It's always good to time box.
It's always good to town box.
You guys confident with your version? Let's go to the next step.
All right. So,
Pick up your post-it.
pick up
All
your
10 of
post-it.
them. And we are going to start assigning corners. So this would be Batman's corner. This is Gotham. All
Gotham.
Batmans
Wow.
come here. This will be Goku's home. Or Dragon Ball here.
All done. Gotham here. Batman, all the Batman comes here.
This
Yes, with the
will be
postage.
Spider-Man. This is New York. Come to New York. And finally, we have Hogwarts here.
Wow,
Let's
okay.
go. Pick up your post-it first. Just pick up your post-it and then get to your designated city.
Which one? Which one?
Hogwarts, Harry Potter.
Spider-Man
is
there.
New York over
New
there.
York.
All right, let's
right.
group to. You all in your heroes team? Harry Potter is Hogwarts here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See all your
Hogwarts friends.
Hogwarts students.
Yes. Are we all the same house? Okay. So what's next?
Next, we'll be done in complete silence.
All right. Next exercise. Guys.
Guys,
So
we will combine everyone's journey together in silence, and I will not give you any other instruction apart from that.
do you understand the exercise?
You will be combining your journey into one journey so that you could present back to the entire room. We will give you 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. And
Maybe 7.
by the end of it, we will present it back to the entire room. One journey.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay,
And
go,
the
go,
only
go.
instruction is silence.
Try to do it without sound.
Go.
Go. They're starting already. Go.
7 minutes. Oh, sorry, 8 minutes.
Remember, you have to combine it.
One flow. One flow. Feel free to move people's stickies around. That's not yours. You can touch them, you can move them, that's fine. As long as you get to one flow by the end of the timer.
When you finish, try to move out so the other guys have some space.
One minute passed. 7 left. Feel free to move people's things around. They also have options to move it back.
Yeah. So if you don't like it, just move it. And if you want it back, move it back.
That's it.
Yeah? It should be same story, right? One story at the end.
One flow. Overlap it, get rid of it, whatever you do, just make it one flow.
Move it. If you disagree, move it.
Need to start merging, guys.
Sure. Do you have, sorry? No. It doesn't have to be 10, but it has to be a story.
Doesn't have to be 10, just a story. Three minutes passed, so you got only 5 minutes left. You should be halfway. Your beginning of the story should be done already. It should already be merged. You have so many hands. Let's move them. You don't need to wait for one to move. You
So-
need to help the team now.
Yes, actually, you have a lot of hands. Should be a lot of cards moving. But basically, the idea is you need to find a cluster, right? So what are the cluster of things in the stories? Yeah? So what are the stories clusters? Try to find that, right? And use that clusters as an anchor.
When you present back, it needs to be coherent.
Move things, move things. Yes, yes, tear it down, yes. Yes. Why it's posted, right? The cost of moving is cheap.
No cheating, man. No talking.
Ah,
Use your hand. Talk with your fist.
talk with your fist.
Talk with your fist. You get to discuss right after this.
Thank you.
3 minutes left. You should be working almost there. 3 minutes left. Make sure that your stories are cool.
Yeah, you're gonna represent your story to the other team, right?
People should feel like, oh, this is so awesome.
You're like, whoa, man, that's the way to make omelet. So we ran this a couple of times. There's some really crazy ones. Let's see if you guys can top that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
2 minutes left.
Actually, who needs more time? You guys done?
Anyone, any teams done? All right. Goku's done. Anyone else done? We do give you more. We do give you way too much time.
Yes, way too much time.
One minute left. Talk with your fist. Right after this, you will get a chance to discuss. We will give you additional time to discuss.
No. Yeah.
As long as you can, if you want. Coherent story. Make it cool. Time's up. You can discuss now. We're gonna add one more thing. While you're discussing, you can still move your stickies around and all that stuff before. If possible, would you mind putting in chapters? For example, you know, like what is the, like looking to buy, browse. This is new stickies that you add to, you know, group some of your cluster. And do feel free to move around. We will present in 5 minutes, right? So talk, sorry, actually 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So you can talk now. Be sure to put the labels in as well. To put the chapter of the stories in, and see you in 3.
Yeah. So like a lot of stories have chapters, right? So what are the big cluster of the chapter? You guys okay over there?
Feel free to merge more. Feel free to move. Feel free to do stuff. Have your chapters before you present. 2 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, I was like, whose phone was that?
One minute left. Grab your chapters.
Wow, you guys like done over there, right?
Goku is so fast. If you're done, pick your presenter.
Yeah.
We'll present soon.
Who will tell your stories? To the world, actually, yes.
To the world. 30 seconds left.
Looks like you guys want to go first? Yeah?
Five,
Nice.
4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Yes!
All right.
Give ourselves a hand, come on. Who will go first?
See, I think Goku finished first.
First mover advantage.
First
It's always
mover
better to go
advantage.
first.
Everyone, come. Let's go to Goku.
Give him the mic.
Who's presenting, man? All right.
English, please.
Sure. Does it work? Yes.
Let's see what exciting tales.
Okay, so first he's angry, as for everyone else. So he's like, I don't remember this one. Okay, he's hungry again, feel like eating an omelette. Then he starts the hunting phase, so runs after the chicken, finds a chicken and thanks him. And then after that start the cooking phase, so launch the eggs in the air, launch the pan in the air, eggs magically breaks in the pan. So now, I mean, maybe it's not logical for you, but for us it is. He's on his magical cloud and mix everything, and then goes to the Kamehameha. How do you say? Okay. To put the eggs on fire and cook everything. And now he's done, so we can start the eating phase. Omelette is here. He's really happy.
Very nice.
Have to put that signature attack in there as well. You know, it's a fine touch. All right, who goes next? Which heroes?
Yeah,
Batman.
all right.
Let's go.
Let's go to Gotham.
Let's go to Gotham. Who's presenting?
Okay, so
Wait for the people. Wait for the
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Right.
Do you want me to do it in an Irish accent?
With the Batman voice.
Oh, okay. So we're Batman, who are here in Gotham, and we start off with hungry. The decision to cook an omelette, take the car to go to the shops to buy the eggs, and to return home. And that was motivation was the hungry and the decision to eat an omelette. Shopping, as you said, go to the shop.
Is
buy
that a
food.
Batmobile?
That's a Batmobile, yes. My idea to cook the eggs with the flames from the Batmobile wasn't accepted. So,
Oh.
well, we did it in silence, so no one understood what it was. Next phase was cooking, breaking the eggs, mix everything. Alfred cooks the eggs. Alfred, his servant, his majordome. Alfred serves the meal, and Batman eats the meal. The meal actually starts here and serves the meal. So I forgot to chop
Very
it.
nice.
Wow.
Thank you.
Actually fit Alfred in there as well. That is fine touch. All right, who's next? That's great. That was very fun. Let's go to Hogwarts then. Harry Potter. Who's presenting? The magic wand. Anyone from Harry Potter? Yep. All right, man. Come on. All right, Harry Potter.
So, Harry is hungry, and he's at work, but he cannot use his magic wand all the time. So, because he's very controlled at work. But he finds that there's nothing in the fridge, so he has to go the old school way. So he has to go to the shop, and then he gets the eggs, but he thinks that probably nobody is watching him, so use the magic wand, break the eggs, and get the pan, heat the pan, and fry it. And that's the way he eats omelets.
All right. So there's a little magic in there. And it's
Little, not so much,
not so much, yeah.
because maybe I don't think we use all the magic all the time. So.
All right, all right.
All right, big round of applause.
Yeah.
You can see like this section is magic, like that. That's magic. That's the cooking
The
part.
whole thing
That's
is magic.
the whole thing is magic.
All right.
All right, last hero. Let's go to New York. Who's presenting? Come on, guys.
So here we got Spider-Man stomach making noise. So then he looks at what's in this fridge, and well, he got pretty much nothing. So he got to buy something, and well, says he's gonna buy eggs, even if always he breaks eggs while buying them. So he's got to the supermarket then. Then he got to save the day because there's always a baddie when on the way. You cannot skip them. So then he gets the eggs and fly back home. But this time he got lucky, nobody out there. So then he spectacularly breaks the eggs while flying them up. Then just put them in the pan. Then get a plate with his, I don't know how we call it. Yeah, thank you. his web, and then, yeah, it's done. and he eats, and it's quite satisfied.
Nice, nice.
All right,
Impressive.
let's sit down. That's hard work, man. I need some omelette. How do you feel?
Hungry.
Hungry.
So,
That was fun and all. What did we learn?
did we learn anything? I can't draw like that. For sure, you learned how to peel Post-it. Yeah? What else did we learn?
Come again? You should always have eggs at home. Wise word.
So,
Any?
We agree, like in a quick way.
Agree in a quick way. Okay.
interesting. Who else think like that? Who else thinks, yeah, we agree quicker? Yeah?
What's the difference between the silence part and when you can discuss? What do you guys think?
Remember the first part? You have to do it in silence? You think it's quicker because we don't talk? No? Okay.
Maybe the discussions were on the particular points and not every detail on all post-its of all.
Ah. So the discussion is a little bit more focused. Okay. Less discussion. Okay, okay.
Cool.
What else? Yeah, sure.
Time box.
Very concise, right? Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And it's omelette anyway, right? But it's 4 different omelette making way.
Why? I mean, we only take 8 minutes to combine. How many people in Goku team? Like 10 people, right? Like 10 people each. It takes 10 minutes to have a coherent version.
Sure, it can be improved, right? But you got
Sure.
something.
Do you think that it would be the same if, say, we mix and match? If we put, 5 Batman and 5 Goku in there? Why not? Right, one of them can drive, one of them can't, right?
Yeah.
A certain person, a persona, yep.
Do you find it strange? Like, let's say you are in a Batman team, and when you go to meet your Batman peers, the stories are not that different. Right? Like Spider-Man are not that different. We run similar workshop in Thailand. I'm sure you never met any of them. The stories are not that different. Why is that? Okay.
Let's keep going.
Yeah? Any more comments before we move on?
Need to discuss for the options of the stories. Yep, some of the story, for example, like cooking with the Batmobile is not in the canon way of things. So okay, yeah. So how do we take care of that, right? Is that the?
Yes, it's coming up.
I'm glad you asked. Go ahead.
Yes, there's an output, right? There's an output, and there's a new guy that joined the company that day. Or the CEO walked in. What are you guys up to? All right, you can point to the wall. That's where we are.
We are talking about whether to include Batmobile to cook the eggs or not. Here it is, right? Like you can point to a specific thing.
Yeah. All right, so let's upgrade that. A little bit. We noticed that run this exercise early on, you guys are running to some limitation because we give you very limited tool. Yeah, but here's more tools. When you do it the next time, it will be even better. Stretchable. Remember, good stories have 3 things.
Make it a story.
What you guys did is make it a stories. Right? You have a stories. Next part is make it stretchable.
Don't
What-
worry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What do I mean? Stretchable.
Don't worry about it, guys. By the way, no, you don't have to get up like the workshop parts. Yeah. But again, basic format of the story.
Yeah, any good stories, I'm sure, has 3 parts: beginning, middle, and end. Right? The premise, the setup. Right? Where that guy? Where am I? What's happening? Right? What is the premise? What do I have to do? Right? I have to make an egg. I have a ring I have to destroy. Right? The premise. And the conflict, right? You have to travel very far. You have to go get the egg. Right? You have to, I don't know, what else? Save the world. Right? The conflict. Right? And then the end, the resolution. How does it end? How does it resolve? He eats an omelet. Yeah? He destroyed the ring in Mount Doom. Yeah? He graduated and killed Voldemort. I don't know. He go to prom. Yeah? It ends. But to tell an interesting stories, not every part of the stories is interesting. Yeah? Have you watched Justice League? No? Yeah, I'm sorry for you too, man.
It's
I
bad.
cried. Not tears of joy. But anyway, a good story you should have a good editing. Yes? So that's why you never see Batman brush his teeth. Because that's not interesting. Right? You only see he fight bad guys, right? He fight with the Jokers. Talking about the good Batman. He fight with the Jokers, right? Interrogates Jokers, right? You don't see when he change his clothes, right? Because that's not interesting. So, same with our story as well, right? You can cut out what's interesting and expand on what's not interesting. To give you a little demonstration, I'll bring it back to this boring e-commerce flow. Yes? I'll extract the words out so you can see the move easily. Yeah? Are you ready? This is massive graphics work going on. Okay. So you did that, right? No, don't make it. So you make a chapter of this, right? So you have 3 chapters in this particular stories. And you can say for your business, right? When a customer looking to buy, I'm not that interested right now. Like the marketing can take care of that, right? Get the people into the funnels. What we're interested in this example is what do customers do when they're in the detail page, right? That's when they decide to buy. What's happening there? Let's say you talk about this in your team and you decide to expand there, right? So, for example, in your stories, they go to get the eggs in the supermarket. Which supermarket? How did he get there? You can sort of expand on that. So you can see that. You can collapse what's not interesting, collapse it, and expand on what's interesting. Yeah? And you can add new cards to it. Yeah? So you can see that when he see the category page, he make a short list. You can filter and sort, right? There's this action. When I look at the detail page, you're not just looking at one, you look at multiples of them, right? I compare prices, pick a favorite, and ask myself, is this the best one? If yes, you put it in the basket.
Dig as deep as you need to. Dig as deep as your team needs to. Maybe is that the best deal? Like, are they comparing it with something else? Do they jump out of your website and come back?
So
is that why you lose converting?
Yeah, so you can imagine how would you expand or collapse your stories that you've done, right? And again, with the stories, you can have multiple possibilities in your stories. So the way we do it is you make a normal flow, how a story would work normally. And if there's a question, you tilt. This is, again, new breakthrough. You have a Post-it, yeah? If you tilt it 45 degrees it becomes a logic gate. Wow. Thank you. So 2 things you learned about Post-it today. Yeah?
Don't leave the house without it.
How to tear it and how to turn into a logic gate. So when you buy Post-it in a big bag,
Big chunk, big
chunk.
block, right?
you always get these ugly colors nobody wants, right?
You can't take photos with it. It doesn't
Like, it's
come
so
with
ugly.
red on red, blue on blue. What is this?
Perfect for this. Right? It stands out. Yeah. So you can make a decision points in your stories. So if a customer chooses to buy, he proceed forward. If he doesn't buy, he go back here. Right? You can have a decision points in your stories. You can take it a step further. So they can have another flow going on here. So to take this example, yeah.
Very similar to how do we address the Batman cooking his egg with the car versus Alfred, right? In one universe, Alfred does cook. In another universe, Batman cook his egg with the car. And for us, unfortunately, like the products that we are building is interactive. So we need to account for all the possibilities.
Yeah. So for this particular example is, let's say the customer is browsing something, and he found a pop-up of sales. Then what happens if he clicks the pop-up, right? Then it's entirely different journey, right? You take him down a different rabbit hole, but you can capture it into a same customer journey. Sure? Yeah?
So that would be the tool. That would be more tools that you can use when building this again. You can start to see that, like when you're combining things, if you have these kind of tools, you could capture all the possibilities, and you could probably merge faster, right? That is all well and good. That is all well and good, but we know that like we need to work. People need to do their work, and this is where domain expert contribution comes in.
That's a third part of the stories, right? We cover the first part, you make it a stories. Second, you make it stretchable, right? So you expand on things you want to see, you collapse things you don't want, you make decision points, right? And then you capture all the alternate flow.
So different individuals can create a shared story. We have proven that today. You have all done it, right? I hope most of you may not know each other. Well, I hope not, but like there will be a lot of strangers in your heroes team. You have successfully come up with your own vision and combine them into a shared story. That is proven.
Yeah.
Another thing that we need to take into consideration is that they also have their own expertise that they can contribute. Right?
We haven't done that yet, but imagine in your team, right? If you take a little step further, I think some of the guys is deaf. Like who's a deaf here? No deaf, 2 deaf. 3
Designers?
Designers?
A few,
couples?
yep.
The rest are
Business?
Business? Agile coach?
Okay, cool.
All right.
There we go. So, lots of roles, lots of expertise. So that we can use our customer journey as a backbone for each of the layers to bind together, right? For example, on the technical side, each customer action trigger one line up after another like a dominoes. You may have seen this before. Like again, these are the stuff you've all heard. There's nothing new here, right? Like the stuff that I'm talking about, there's nothing new here. It's just a way for you to internalize many tools to make it work for your team.
So you guys have heard like service blueprint and stuff? So stuff like that.
So there are stuff like that, yeah. So
we'll get to it at the end.
we hook it like I log in to see I see the dashboard. That's 2 post-it note, right? The data travel, the action of the user travel. So log in, travel to front end. That means that front end probably should check for validations, I assume. So there will be stuff there, and then middleware would kicks in, you know, like double check the security of the device and all that stuff. Then the back end would kicks in, which process stuff that goes into the database.
And do the query, right?
And
If
then
this customer exists,
back up.
yes or no, then it triggers back up. They're like, yes, he exists. It passes on the values.
So you can capture more requirements this way, right? More complex lane can be added. For example, UI flow.
This is a project we are working on.
Yes. This is the project we're working on. You can see the journey, and then this is the UI flow. right?
We blur it a little bit, so.
It hasn't been out yet, so.
But you can
And
see it gets large.
it gets large, yes. Or test case and error messages, which is like the directly below, right? These are all the error messages, test case stuff that people need to look at according to each of the
Columns.
lane of the action item of the user.
Other column. So at the top, to give some example, at the very top, maybe perhaps the user decides to log in. Once they log in, this is the screen that he sees. And when he press that, these are the test cases, right? That happens. How do we check for validation? How do you check email? Like, what's email format? Before you send to a server, do we want to check that it's blank? So these kind of things stays in the same column, right? So anyone, any expertise can come in and find where things are based on the user story that is co-created by the team.
Project related. This is how our backlog looks like right now. So we align it by the stories, and we have all the stories aligned by the customer journey, and we have all the stories listed. You can see that half of them is done, and 2 of them, the blue, is still in working. When you pull the cards out, we have a sticky at the back, and people know that we don't need to explain those set of cards are being those set of action of the customers are being worked on.
Yeah. So to give you some example, we take this out, so it's behind this. So this is think of this panel as post-it of post-it. Yeah. So you can move that panel around and as long as it hook back to the user stories.
We'll get to the materials in a sec, because I can see that if we actually do it, that your office might run out of space really fast. Again, we propagated having each row prep their lane. So we have lanes for each of the rows. We have the customer journey at the top. This is co-created. And then each row can go ahead and prep whatever they need. But must combine together. Must combine together. This is one of the you can see how many lanes they have. Just go all the way throughout the end of the table, and each one of them align to all the different to all the customer journeys, right?
And when you do it we find it very, very effective because it drives conversation, right? So I think he'll show you.
So you do questions the empty slot, right? If the business put something there, right? Is it really no work for dev or QA? If the dev put that there, really there's no test, business not gonna look at it, and vice versa. You get the idea, right? QA test something without dev development, that's weird. So what we do find is that when you prep each lane together and when they come together, just explosions of requirements. For people who are worried about wall space, we usually use plastic boards. These are very common in Thailand. It's €2 each or whatever. We buy them in bulk, actual bulk. Basically, again, it's post-it or post-it. I'm sure you can find it here as well. It's what do you call it? You can stack them in sets. You could hide them. You could convert them. You just have the customer journey at the top, and you just slot in whatever layers you need. We even start building racks for them so that you can just put them in.
Yeah.
Very useful.
And once you have incomplete work, it starts to pile up.
You can see the piles. It actually piles up.
All right. Examples.
It's going to be a quick real-life example project that we've done. So basically, you've seen this before. I can't go into any of the reasons, the project and stuff, but just see different way of implementations that we do. Right? These are post-it onlys. These are our recruitment pipeline in Thailand. You can see the timeline and all that stuff. For people with auditoriums like this, if I have to actually run workshop like this with say 20, 30 people, of that, I would convert them to an A4. So instead of one post-it, I would use one A4 and place it here. One stories at a time. right? So people would be drawing on A4. Again, more A4, you color coded them. These are like the size of the board. Like it actually does take the wall from here to there, like all the way to the ceilings. These are some of the, and when you are done with it, you can just like move your stickies back into like a board and then just pack it away. This is one of the journey that we've done. As in like the development is done, finished. So we move them, we condense them. You can see how long the journeys are. It just go like this. But then for archive purposes, put it in there, take a photo, slide that in.
Yep.
And when someone is asking about that project again, pull that sheets out and you can start going through it again. Very easy. Right?
Yeah. Best document.
Best documents. Need to touch on the visual management system.
I think before we go there, I think it helps as well that I mentioned this a little bit, but I want to emphasize this. It helps that it's co-created, right? So when when we do it, of course you should have one facilitator, try to facilitate this, but you can actually hand this out to people. When you write on Post-it, just write the
words.
Just write the words and help me draw. Pass it along. Pass it out. Pass it out. Anyone, they will start to draw it, and it will get them engaged in the meeting.
We call it like the Jedi mind trick, because whenever there's a stakeholder or business in the room, big suit, big tie, just like sitting there, we'll be like, okay, we'll start to hand them out around him first, and then at the end of it, we'll just hand them the stickies. Once the business starts to draw, it becomes a lot easier. Yeah. They're in, right?
And at the end of it, because it's co-created, they have their buy-in, right? It's there as well. So it does help. And the easiest way to try, actually, if you go back Monday, you saw two or three people talking, right? Just write down what they're saying and put it on the board next to them. They will start to point to it. Try it. Just write something just listen, oh, you talk about this, just write it and put it next to them. Let's talk about this, write it and put it next to them. They will start pointing to it, and then just when they start pointing, give them the Post-it and give them the pen. Then they will start drawing.
Another good trick is that once you got start a couple of these stickies up, you ask them, what's the beginning and what's the end? Draw the first sheets and then draw the last sheet, or get them to help draw the first and last sheets.
So it boxes the conversation.
Yeah. We're talking about, these two stickies, this is the beginning, this is the end, how much do we have left? This much. Okay, let's talk about that. Cool. Again, just to echo that, right? This is one part of the visual management system stuff. You can look this up online. It's just a way for you to internalize it, right? One thing I want to show you though is that these are many of these are the normal experience.
So if you Google customer journey, you probably see some of this.
Service blueprint. I'm just going through it quickly. This is lean. That's many stuff. But did you feel anything? None of these make sense, right? None of these visual make sense. Why? I could hang this back to say here, right? This is supposed to be
State of the art.
State of the art, right? You do need a little bit of time spent reading it, right? To actually even get what this is about. There's nothing wrong with the tools, but this is the nature of it. The point is not extracting information. The point is shared understanding through making of the artifact.
So probably if you remember anything from this talk, probably how to peel Post-it, how to tilt the Post-it. No, actually it's this one, right? How do we create a shared understanding among team, right? Do it through artifact. You can write on the whiteboard, sure, but Post-it, what's better than whiteboard is Post-it because it means you can move it, right? The cost of change is very cheap, right? And it comes back to fast feedback, right? You want fastest feedback. You want idea on each idea on a single node, right? Single idea is a node. You can move the node very quickly. And it becomes, like you've seen, it becomes a focused conversation.
Mm. So again, I'm sure people have seen this book before.
You've seen this book? Yeah. Have you read it? Do you understand it? I don't.
ex-dot worker, by the way.
Great guy. Like I met him and I was like, great books. I don't understand it.
There's a story in that book. I don't know whether you remember. You can tell it.
If you read it, you remember. Like for me, I think this is the best takeaway from that book. So this is the photo of his daughters, I think. And for us to look at this photo, you see, yeah, like two girls on the beach, right? But to him, to Jeff Patton, the author, it's a reminder of the trip that he went, right? The struggle that they went through. Like they have to get on a boat, it was windy, it was raining, walk through a forest, then he saw an opening and wow, the beach. Then you take the photo. So that just, because we weren't there, we won't know any of that. We don't have any context. But this, the point is, this is just a reminder for him and his team, right? His daughters. And for better or for worse, this is how documentation actually works.
The best way to use a document is to create it, right? The best way to use a document, this, that, this, or anything else, is to actually create them. Create them together, you will get the shared understanding together to the artifact. That's it.